Underwater car escape. Something tells me this involves a car in the water.
Shockingly, that is true. This is what I've been wanting to do almost since we started doing this show. The myth is that you're in a car, it goes over the side of a bridge or something into the water and it starts to sink. The myth is you will not be able to open that door until the cabin of the car fills up with water, and then you can open the door and escape.
Sounds like you might be cutting it kind of close, though.
That's exactly what we're going to find out.
It's the stuff of nightmares and spectacular movie stunts. But this sinking scenario is a real-life life threat. So, if you're in a vehicle that takes a dive into the drink, is it possible to escape, or would a watery grave be your fate?
I think it's pretty obvious what the plan for this one should be.
Yep. We got to get a real car, we got to put it in the water, and get inside it and go down with it.
Really have always wanted to be the dude in the car. You got to let me be the dude in the car.
You can be the dude in the car.
Yes!
Dude, better you than me. But before he gets his feet wet, Adam first sets up a small-scale pressure test. He fills a 3-foot-deep cylindrical tank with water. It's an interestingly improvised, rubbery contrivance that makes perfect sense to him.
On the right here is a box which represents my car. And like a car, it will let water in, but slowly. It'll leak out of a lot of the corners and edges. And when you see that happening, hopefully this unit will demonstrate that the pressure's higher here on this drum that's in the open water than it is on this drum that's in the car.
Adam places a small piece of Perspex loosely on the underside of the box that will represent the door of his car.
Ready?
Yep. Each foot the drum is lowered is equivalent to half a PSI of pressure. In the real world, that's a crushing 1,000 to 2,000 pounds of force on a door.
That's the pressure inside the car, that's the pressure of the water outside the car. You're inside this car, you're trying to open this door, you can't, because the pressure outside is higher than the pressure inside. Pressure differential. It's happening!
Pressure differential occurs because water exerts greater pressure than air. When a vehicle sinks, the water presses on the doors, holding them shut. When the cabin fills with water, the inside pressure becomes the same as the outside, and it's only then its grip is released. After building up and up, the two lines finally meet.
Watch this door, watch this door.
And release.
There it goes.
To test this theory in a real-life situation, the plan is to suspend a car from a crane. Adam will be the trap driver in front, while Jamie will be in back wearing a rebreather. Then the car will be lowered into the watery depths, with safety divers monitoring the entire operation. Fresh from the classifieds, Jamie has found a classic American sedan with power windows. It runs great.
Never to start again.
Now to pull it apart.
First thing we need to do is remove the engine from the car because any oil, any fluids that would foul the water is going to be a problem. What's the matter? Haven't you ever seen somebody work on a car with an axe?
His opponent has been wounded and is starting to weaken.
It's coming.
After a protracted battle, the engine finally succumbs. Jamie is victorious, but the thrill of the kill has gone to his head.
I had to remove the engine from the car to clean the car up, so I did.
Well, there's your problem.
Now that the engine is out, he needs to add its equivalent weight back in.
This thing right here is our engine surrogate. We need to simulate the amount of weight that it represented because the car might settle into the water differently if we don't.
700 pounds of weight is lowered into the cavity.
This is Jamie's new hydrogen fuel cell engine.
And with the weighting checked off, it's time to make like Keith Moon and drive the car into the pool. To conduct their test, Campo Lindo High School in Moraga is kindly letting us use their aquatic center. Go Cougars!
This is a high school diving pool, and this is where we're going to sink our car. It's about 13 feet deep right here, which should be plenty for us to do our test. It's nice and warm. It'll be great.
Aside from his burning enthusiasm, Adam has a burning question for safety diver Sean.
All right, Sean, so I'm going to be in this car. It's going to start filling up with water. I'm going to hold my breath, but when I run out, what's the backup?
Well, the backup is sitting in your passenger seat right there.
That
40
guy.
cubic feet of air waiting for you with a 5-foot-long hose. Remember to purge it and breathe normally.
That's already
Get
hooked
you
up.
out of there. It's ready to
Okay.
go.
And Jamie will be sitting here in his rebreather with this standing by in case I need it.
Correct.
Jamie isn't in the back just to look pretty. He's a certified dive master with 30 years of experience and 3,000 dives under his weight belt.
I'm just going to be sitting there relaxing, waiting for Adam to freak out, and then I'll be right there with the regulator.
So as not to skew the test by adding extra air, Jamie will be using a rebreather instead of regular scuba tanks. Rebreathers recycle exhaled breath and therefore don't create bubbles. It's a self-contained unit that's very 007. Adam's starting to lose his cool.
I'm actually a little freaked out because I'm going to be like holding myself up off the dashboard. I'll be my face planted into the windshield in this thing. I didn't take that into account, and it's going to make this a lot more difficult to stay focused and calm. Let's go do it.
The safety divers swim into position. And Jamie has some final sage words of advice.
Adam, I only have one thing to say to you.
Yeah.
Don't pee in the pool. Because I'm in the car there with you.
Time for Adam to get inside for the ride of his life.
You ready?
I'm all set.
So, wearing no scuba gear, 13 feet underwater, does Adam think he'll sink or swim?
I think it's entirely likely I may need oxygen before this test is complete.
Okay, get it into gear. Is that a problem?
Next, Adam is flooded with strong emotions.
Oh, man.
And coming, Jamie and Adam are testing the myth that if your car swerves off the road and into a body of water, to get out alive, you have to wait until it's completely submerged and full of water before you can open the door.
So did you know last year, AAA estimated 11,000 vehicles went off the road and into the water, and as a result of those accidents, 300 people died.
Holy cow, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
I thought it was more like a freak accident.
Now, apparently it's a lot more common than that.
Well, maybe we can help raise awareness a bit as to what these people are facing.
And what better way to raise awareness than to raise themselves in a car into the sky and plunge into a pool?
What the are we doing?
Remember, when Adam goes 13 feet under, he won't be wearing breathing apparatus. The paramedics are on their toes, and Adam has his escape strategy all worked out.
I'm going to try to start opening this door the moment I see the water get above my glass. Now, if the myth is true, I won't be able to open that door until the water level inside the car gets to the same point.
Deep breaths, Adam. Deep breaths. It's way too late to put on the brakes.
I couldn't stop now if I wanted to.
As the water rushes in, Adam is getting that sinking feeling.
Oh, man.
The crane chains go slack, and the car is sinking on its own. The 700-pound fake engine is taking it down nose first, exactly as it would in a real situation.
The water's up to my butt now. All right. Okay, it's coming past my waist. Now I can start to see under the water. Oh my God, it's coming up under the windshield. Wow, I can feel the pressure. All right, I only have a couple more breaths here.
Adam's never this quiet. So what's going on down there? The water is leaking in from every open crevice in the car, and Adam is now fully under. He holds his breath, tugs on the door, pushes his whole weight against it, but nothing happens. Finally, he can't hold his breath any longer and signals for Jamie to pass him the regulator. When the pressure ultimately equalizes, he opens the door and swims to the surface. But it was too late.